I am on a little bit of a nature hike trail here at my cottage where I'm staying right now in Nanyuki, and just wanted to go over a little bit of my experience in the first little bit of my Africa adventure here. And let me tell you, gotta make sure I'm staying on a trail here. The beginning of the trip was a little bit rocky, and possibly to be expected, yes, because I, in a previous video, said that my rental vehicle may be questionable as far as getting to me on time, but it was a little bit more than that. Pretty interesting. So my fancy truck that I was so looking forward to with the big tent on top, and I was gonna camp out with some friends out in the African wilds, you know. There's the rest of the trail here. And so apparently what I'm told, there's something called Kenya time. When you say 10 a.m. they're dropping it off, well, that actually means about 2 or 3 p.m. So when it finally did arrive at the hotel, it was a little bit, had some use and abuse to it. So, that's all part of the adventure, No problem, got in, did the deal, and left. And about 30 minutes into the drive through Nairobi, traffic is crazy, the whole 9 yards, and the truck starts to slow down, and it slows down, and I can't really go over 20 miles an hour. Something maybe with the fuel pump, I'm not sure, but limping along, and supposed to take this car out to elephant country, so amongst all the chaos of Nairobi at the time, by some miracle, I was able to turn it into a Shell gas station. And the Shell gas stations here are a little different than they are in the States. There's like a full-blown mechanic there, and the attendant that I pulled up to, it was also on empty, by the way. They delivered it with no gas, so had to, take care of that. But pulled in, and the attendant was there, and he just looked at me and said, "Oh, we have a problem here." I'm like, "Yep, there's a problem." Can't really go above 20 miles an hour here. So this kid, he had to have been like 20. One of the most sharp, integrous gentlemen I have met. And he stayed with me for hours to help me fix this issue with the car. So long story short, we called the company, and they were going to send the car in 10 minutes, and it came about 3 hours later. So we're pushing nighttime at this point, and I've got a B&B booked like 3 or 4 hours away in Nanyuki, and so the car shows up, beautiful truck that arrived, and the lady was driving it, and at that exact moment, all they had to do is put the tent on top of the other one, real heavy tent, but it started to pour, and it was raining, and so basically we just waited the rain out, and the rain just kept going and going and going, and then the new vehicle, the rider or the driver of that vehicle, just decided to check out and leave. So I had no vehicle at all. So needless to say, I canceled with that company, and hopefully we'll get our money back. But I was able to reconnect with the hotel I came in, so I spent an extra night over at the Crown Plaza Hotel where I was staying, and that was fine. The next day, I actually booked a driver to take me all the way to Nanyuki, which is not far from, where the safari lands are, where all the big 5 you know, the elephants and the rhinos and the lions are all out here. So was able to get a driver, and he was fantastic and took me all the way here, which was about a 4-hour drive from Nairobi. So here we are, and I booked this lovely little cottage. I'll show you pictures in a second, but it's fabulous. As you can see, there's this wonderful little nature hike here. They have a pool and actually a river too, which I can go down to. I'll show you pictures of that as well. So I have booked another truck from this town. I hope this one works. So I'm looking forward to the 4-wheel driving out. It's another 2 hours to get to my friends. They're in the Samburu Conservancy area. And yeah, I guess it's quite a trek to get out there, and you need a 4x4 to get out there. So that was the excitement of my start of the Africa adventure, and it has proven to be an adventure.